You will come back, my friends.
Now, let's analyze what's been working for us.
Dude, what are you saying?
Not a goddamn thing's been working for us.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I'm a little better than everyone else here.
You know how to play winning hard-nosed football?
You lack a discipline.
Nuh-uh, I don't rack a discipline.
It doesn't work for me.
You stay focused.
And that's the way you're gonna do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
Hello, welcome to Unfocused Fantasy Football with sponsored by Steelers Sanctuary. Guys, everybody is fucking hurt. How are we doing? Are there any injuries on this podcast? We're down 2 people tonight. What the hell is going on in fantasy football?
I sprained my knee coming back here to literally do the podcast.
I see Greg's picking up on the
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg was questionable, but he showed up anyway.
I showed up anyway, yeah.
So, what did we think last week? So I know, John, you were sharing with us in the chat that I think everybody on who you drafted is hurt now. I mean, how are you negotiating this with the waiver wire?
Well, luckily I have the luxury of having the first pick on the waiver wire in that league. But yeah, that one's been tough. We drafted early in that league, so I picked up Mixon. He hasn't played it down. Joe Burrow went down for me. I had Trey Benson stashed. He's now gone. I have Mike Evans. He's been out. Sprinkle in a little Malik Neighbors, my first pick. So he's now gone in that league. So needless to say, it's a struggle. And I'm playing you this week, and you don't even have a high score prediction, but you're heavily favored in that league against me. And I think you're 0-4 in that league.
Yeah.
and a heavy favorite against me, who's 1-3. So
Time to turn it around, Bob. Here's the time.
That's why they were teasing me at work today, and I was like, hey, just wait. It's going to be like Novocaine. You guys were saying that in baseball when I lost 5 in a row and ended up in the championship. So here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
As it said in Highlander, there can only be one.
That's true.
Everybody else is falling off the wayside.
Well, speaking of last week, let's take a look at how things went. John put up a monster number. That's the highest points for the season, 176.
Ooh.
Climbing back into it. I mean, didn't look good those first 2 weeks.
Well, I've been a win one, lose one, and honestly, in this game, I was a little worried. We were in our chat, and the guy, I don't know who, Colin, I think is his name. He had Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf in that early morning game, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Those guys just, luckily DK didn't do much in the second half, but Jefferson got his, and I was in a hole right away, but luckily all my guys then just kind of got loose and put up some big points. So they all exceeded projections except for my first overall pick, Jamar Chase, with his big 7 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got knocked Greg from the undefeated ranks thanks to a little Justin.
Yeah,
Fields
that game
magic.
came out
They should have challenged. They should have challenged. I mean, if Mike Tomlin should have challenged the Caleb Johnson kickoff return snafu, then McDaniel should have challenged that. And next week, no matter what happens again at Carolina, McDaniel should be given the Lane Kiffin tarmac treatment.
And
that's all right. Yeah. The 72 Miami Dolphins team can break out the champagne. So
absolutely. I don't know if you ever want to be undefeated going into the fantasy playoffs. That's always a recipe for disaster. And David, you kept Dave from winning his first game. Really tight battle there.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, I wake up, I piss excellence, Bob. It's an inconvenience to have the knowledge that I have, to know what I know. But no, basically in our matchup, I mean, Dave, he took me to the wire. He was winning, but dude, those Monday night matchups, a chain 17 points, Garrett Wilson 20 points, J.K. Dobbins, my boy at the very end, got 11.5 points for me to get the comeback and beat Dave. So poor Dave goes to 0-4. Sorry.
Yeah, too bad. Relics in chat. He had a big win this week against Trent, and he's already taking credit for Trent not feeling well enough to come on the podcast. And then our mystery guest, Tyreek over the hill, in a squeaker over Jeff. Kind of a weird low-scoring game there.
Yeah, that's an odd one. Definitely in a 10-man. So.
All right, and so for standings, we got myself, David, and Greg. We're all 3-1, so we may be a little shorthanded on the podcast, but the top three are here, so
Exactly.
I guess that's a good thing. We are hoping Dave will win a game, so he comes on the podcast at some point.
Not this week, though.
Yes, not this week. As far as the top scorers for the league, I'm thanks to my win this week, I've edged up a little bit over Dave. He was a little bit over me last week. Trent, even though he's 2-2, he's certainly putting up a bunch of points.
Yeah, he's putting up points. It's bad luck.
Yeah, and John jumps all the way up to 4, knocked out to the top 5.
If it wasn't for my 77 points the first week, I'd be right in it.
Yeah, you probably would be 3-1 if you didn't have the 77 points the first week. And Greg jumps into the top 5, 3-1. So, and I think Jeff's 4 points behind you, Greg. So it's a close one.
I definitely benefited from George Pickens and Javonte Williams' performance Sunday night against the Packers.
Damn, you got the whole Cowboys crew on one team. All right. So let's
wow,
take a look.
Some of these guys not set their lineups yet because
they haven't.
Yeah, I don't think they have. So
hey, don't say a word. It is what it is. Gotta let these guys learn the hard way. I don't know what to tell them.
I figured John has
need Dave to hate my team at least another week.
Yeah.
66 points is a pretty big spread there, but I'm confident he'll set his lineup. I am 44 over Jeff. I'm pretty sure he hasn't set his lineup. At least I hope for his sake.
Yeah, I think he's got Lamar plugged in right now.
Yeah,
he's got Lamar in there. He's got I forget who else he has, but he's got like 2 people that are.
I'd like to say that I'm. Missing
he's got Neighbors. He's got Neighbors still in there.
And also this is the first week for the bye weeks, so people may not be following that until now.
This is where you find out who's really actually good at fantasy football. Now you've got all the buys. If you're not dealing with a lot of injuries, you better have got your bye weeks in check. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And if you have injuries, you're screwed with the buys now. I'm feeling the bye. I got Mike Evans out. I got Josh Jacobs on a bye, Drake London on a bye, Roma Dunze on a bye. So Quinn's catching me at a good week this week.
Absolutely.
But my bench has been pretty stout. So as long as they can, I like my depth. I scored a lot of points on my bench last week and again. So I need them to come through this week. So we'll see.
I get Jaden Daniels back this week. So everybody can look out because now
I'm glad I dodged that against you.
Yeah.
Very glad.
Although Justin Fields had a nice game.
Yes, let's by all means remind everybody. I'll tell you what, I would have rather him like throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns as opposed to the sweating it out to the very end. Even though honestly that run that he had, which was really impressive. That seemed to be the harbinger of doom. So,
yeah, once that happened, you kind of figured.
Yeah, I was like, sack him, interception, lose yards. But that was a hell of a catch though by Garrett Wilson, which honestly, I would have figured they would have challenged it. But
every scoring play is reviewed anyway. So
yeah,
do what?
Every scoring play is reviewed. So
yeah.
And
they don't need to challenge it.
That's my guy. That's my player. So, I was like, shit, are they going to overturn this or not? And they didn't. So, that was nice.
All right,
I just
so
remember we all people were criticizing Tomlin for not challenging the Caleb Johnson thing, and he was like, "Well, they told me that it's usually reviewed," and it's like, well, you can always review it just to be safe, especially since it was in Miami's case, it was toward the end of the game, and
Yeah.
if they're somehow able to get that touchdown, called back, that makes things easier for them. But to each their own.
don't get me started on the Jets not covering. Ugh. All you had to do was make it close against Miami.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our starts and sits of the week. We've got them up for guys who haven't joined us, but let's focus on the people who have. So we'll kind of go around the horn here. David, who's your start of the week? Who's your sit of the week?
Start of the week's Darren Waller. Literally first game back. It hasn't played 2 years, 3 years. Right off the rip, scores 2 touchdowns. They weren't even playing him. He didn't even get a lot of snaps. They're trying to ease him into this, and my man already put up 2 touchdowns, so he's going to be a red zone target for Tua. Tyreek Hill's gone now, so they're actually going to have to lean on him a little bit in the receiving game. And then on top of that, Carolina gives up the 7th most points to tight ends. So to me, you got injuries with tight ends out there, right? This is a guy you should have ran and got right now off the waiver wire. And so he's my start of the week. I think now he's definitely going to get some points for you.
You think he kind of fits into the Jonnu Smith role from last year, where
Absolutely.
all of a sudden Tua starts throwing him everything?
Or,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I still think he could be touchdown dependent. What do you have? 3 catches still last week?
To start. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's his first game in 2 years. They're going to take it easy. If my guy's already getting multiple touchdowns and he's now going to have Tyreek Hill's gone. So they're going to have to lean on somebody here. And don't forget, when Waller was fully acclimated and doing this thing on a regular basis, he was a legit tight end before he went to the Giants. I swear all tight ends go to the Giants to die. I swear.
And I saw an injury report where they had him as questionable, but they did put a disclaimer that it's basically resting him.
Yeah,
he'll
it's
probably be
just getting
questionable all year. Some of those guys get that every Wednesday.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, no, I think he could end up being a nice little ad for somebody off the waiver wire if he's even still there by now. It's Thursday, so he's probably gone by now. But no, I like him. And then my sit of the week's Baker Mayfield. Evans is still not there. Now no Bucky Irving, so that run game is not going to be great either to help him with the pass. And Seattle's 25th in points to quarterbacks, and it's at Seattle, so that's tough. So I decided to make him my sit of the week because I don't like it.
But they are wearing the creamsicles.
Oh, well.
This is going to be a cool game. If you guys, Steelers are off this week, Patriots are Sunday night. This is just from an aesthetic standpoint, creamsicles versus the old
I was about to say,
uniforms.
Are they wearing their old? Okay, good. They are good. That's going to be sweet.
It's throwback to 1976.
Yep.
All right, so Greg, tell us what you got. Who you start and who you sit.
Well, my start of the week, this may be cheating a bit, but it's Jared Goff. Lions, after that first week debacle against Green Bay, they're rolling. He's second in the league in passing touchdowns. He's top 10 in passing yards. Bengals have yet to face a top tier quarterback, and that they've struggled with the quarterbacks they have faced. And Bengals haven't been getting pressure or sacking quarterbacks. So I would expect Goff to do very well, despite it being in Cincinnati, the game. So.
Yeah, Cincinnati's a total mess right now, offense and defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised you went with Chase Brown, only because they're so trash with the quarterback. You almost think they have to run the ball a little bit more, although their offensive line has real problems.
I mean, he hasn't done anything in this year yet. He was,
that was why a big reason why. Yeah, he hasn't been able to rush for 50 yards at all this year.
He's not even getting the dump off passes.
Even when Burrow was around,
Browning guy's been so terrible that he's not even dumping it off to a skill position player like Chase Brown coming off the last year.
Yeah. According to the report, right, he is getting targets. He's just not able to do much with them. And as you said, the offensive line has been really bad. He's averaging 0.7 yards before contact. So if he's getting hit, if he's able to make it to the line of scrimmage, he's getting hit there, if not behind the line of scrimmage. So and the
Yeah, I
Lions
mean,
have and it doesn't help that they're facing the Lions, who have the eighth best
Yep.
defense versus the run. So
literally, I was just about to say that they're facing, yeah, not good. He's only got 37 points on the season. This is bad.
Let's
Yeah.
start
And he
off
was
top.
like a first, second round pick. It's
and that's
terrible.
because after the bang up second half of the year from last year, where it looked like he was about to make that jump into the top tier running backs. Yeah, this is happening, and I get a lot of it's Burrow being gone, but it's also the offensive line and other factors too. So
Well, let me ask you a question, because there's heavy rumors, and I'll throw this out to all of you. If you're the Bengals, do you pull the trigger for Russell Wilson?
I mean, it depends what you have to give up, but I don't,
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd probably rather have try to get Jameis Winston than Russell Wilson at this point.
Yeah,
But I don't know. This Browning guy's been terrible, and he unless he plays the Jags. Apparently, when he plays the Jags, he looks like a half decent guy. But
Yeah.
I don't think I know 2 years ago Burrow was out for a long time, and Browning was the guy, and I don't think he did much then either.
there were a few games. There were a couple of good games he did have, but
I mean, if
yeah,
they're
he
looking
wasn't
at Burrow,
he wasn't good
possibly
enough to
coming
start
back
over Burrow
by the end of the
so.
year, then they need to. And they started out 2-0 and had those first couple wins on. If they can pull out a few more wins here, maybe they do pull a trigger, because
A buddy of mine said the rumor is December 12th. Burrow could be back. So
don't you almost have to make a move, being that you're 2-2?
yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
he's coming back December 12th and you have aspirations to do something this season, even with him injured, then you got to do something. I just don't know what they're willing to give up to get one of these guys. That's the thing. I'm surprised Russell Wilson's people don't push for the trade to happen.
Well, I don't even know, can the Bengals afford him? I'm not an expert on salary cap and all that, but I think
Yeah.
Wilson's making a little bit of money, and
I'm sure they'll make room somehow.
He's actually only making like $10 million. So
yeah, if you're close to the cap, can you squeeze 10 mil in?
yeah, they could probably do something creative. I mean, $10 million to fit under. I mean, that's not a ton of money that they need to move. Personally, it might be interesting for a game or two with Wilson if he uncorked the pass for Jamar Chase. For those of you who are in Jamar Chase hell right now, a lot of people picked him number 1 overall. Maybe Wilson resurrects Jamar Chase a little bit and survives till Burrow, but I don't know.
Well, it's not like Neighbors had that one good game, but other than that, it wasn't like Wilson was pumping up Neighbors numbers. I mean,
As much as we saw Wilson check down a lot for the Steelers, Chase Brown would love to have him.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Russell Wilson's cap hit is $11 million, and Cincinnati Bengals cap space is only $10.7 million.
so they could probably do something, release some guy, or
They could always cut Burrow.
Well, that is technically an option.
He's only a $50 million cap hit.
Yeah, that's all. All right. So, John, who you starting? Who you sitting?
I'm starting Justin Fields. I didn't think I'd ever be saying it, but I just think he's got a juicy matchup this week. He's playing the Cowboys. The previous mentioned Russell Wilson, even the Cowboys made him look good. And I think the last 3 quarterbacks that have faced the Cowboys, you're looking at Love, Wilson, and Caleb Williams, all threw up over 32 points. So I don't see why Fields probably feeling pretty good coming off his performance the other night. Didn't look terrible. It's probably going to be another shootout in Dallas, and Dak will probably have good numbers, and I think Fields will probably have good numbers as well. So I look for Fields to pick up the pace. And my sit, and I don't know, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm going with Jerry Jeudy. Kind of came in coming off a good year last year. He had a solid year, especially the second half of the year. So he had Flacco throwing to him. They probably thought that he was going to, be an extension of last year right into this year, and it hasn't happened. It's kind of it's been terrible. So, he hasn't. I think his highest point total is like 11. I think for the year, in 4 games.
He's been horrible.
He's just been terrible now. So, and then they're playing Minnesota, who's number 1 defense against receivers points allowed for fantasy. So, you put those 2 things together, and unfortunately, I have 2 leagues that I have to play him due to injuries. So
dude,
week I got to throw him in. But
so you're saying what you would do if you didn't have to,
right?
man.
If you don't have to play Jerry Judy, don't play Jerry.
Don't
Judy.
put
If you
him
have
on
to
there.
play him, you're fucked.
My dude's a hostage right now. You poor guy. Shit.
if you play him, hope for a bunch of targets at the end of the game.
Well,
Hey,
that's what I've been saying, but they've been down in every game just about too. So, and he still isn't coming up. So,
Is it
maybe
me or is
Dylan
every
Gabriel
week
coming in wants to feed the guy? I don't know. We'll see.
Is it
Change
me or is
quarterback.
every week we've done this podcast, there's been a player selected as a start that was supposed to face the Cowboys? Because it
Yes,
seems like that's what you do. You just pick somebody who's facing the Cowboys.
especially
defense.
quarterbacks. They're number 1 in points to quarterbacks. I mean, like, you'd
Yeah.
be crazy not to play him.
You
As far as
would,
Judy goes, like horrendous. You're not going to trust a rookie to throw to him yet.
you would think playing Carolina would be the same kind of matchup, unless you're an Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah, that was the
No
start
doubt.
of the week that week.
Hey, in defense of David, that was
I mean, you've come up with some doozies too. I don't even want to fucking hear it.
Hey,
In defense of David, that was
Hey,
good
I got-
fillable
I was pretty
content.
bad, but you guys had some bad ones too. I don't even want to hear it.
David, that was good fillable content for the show. I liked it.
Son of a bitch. Couldn't
Yeah.
believe that happened. But anyways,
All right. So before we get to mine, Relic chipped in with the start of the week for Amari Demercado. That's an interesting choice. I'm a little bit worried about Arizona because
yeah.
I really thought James Conner was good. I thought Trey Benson was good. Demercado's a good receiving back, but I don't know that he's an every down back. What do you guys think?
So I'll go first because I added Carter in my 1 league, and here's why. They're saying that Carter might be the every down back, but on passing downs, Demercado will be out there. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
I've
so
heard
like,
that too.
Right. So I don't. It's if you can help it, like if you can avoid them, I wouldn't go that route. But like if you're in a bad spot with injuries and stuff, you've got no choice. Give one of them a shot, see what happens.
I did like
I
the
don't
small
know.
sample size of Demercado there at the end of the last game. I was kind of curious because I had Benson in a couple leagues, and at the end of the game, he wasn't getting any play. And I'm like, man, what is it? Because they're in passing down, situation because they're behind, and they were he was feeding him, and he was getting a lot of catches. I think he even got a touch. He might have even got a touchdown there in the end. I'm not sure. But I liked what I saw in that small sample size. Now, Michael Carter was not there at the time. So, could that cut in? But I kind of agree, let's kind of wait and see what happens before we get too high on any of the.
I think if you're desperate, I think to help you make the decision, go off if your league is a PPR league or not. If it is a PPR league, then go with Demercado. That's who I would go with because of the fact he's going to be on there for passing downs, and you can get those PPR points. That's the way. That's the best advice I can give, really, without really knowing what's going to happen.
Would he also be like a good goal line back from like the 1 yard line, or is he a bigger? I don't know. I don't really know. Is he like a bigger back, or is he like a smaller scat back? Or
Yeah, he looked. I don't know the specifics. I defer to Dave on that. He's got probably all the stats, but he looked big enough to me. And from what I remember of Carter on the Jets, he wasn't that big. So
yeah, so it sounds like he might get the goal. I don't know. It's like I said, it's a gamble, man. Right now, you don't know. But if you're forced to do
Kyler
it,
Murray running it in from.
If you're forced to have to choose one because you're in a bind, I would go Demercado in a PPR league. Non-PPR, then go with Carter if he's going to be the first and second down back from what I read.
Okay.
Yep. And then Relic says to sit Juwan Johnson from the Saints. I get it. Spencer Rattler's kind of trash, but I don't know. You're playing the Giants, and yeah, the Giants defense looked really good, but I mean, somebody's got to catch the ball for fucking New Orleans. So,
And at
I don't
one
know.
time,
The
one time
problem
Johnson was the first few weeks. Johnson was the number one tight end as far as fantasy points because he was a good security blanket for the quarterbacks. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The problem is that he's injured. He's been limited. He just got a limited session today. And it's his ankle. So
Yeah, I mean, he's
that's
still seventh
killing it.
overall, and tight end's a weak spot. It depends. I mean, if you got somebody better
Yeah.
to play him, then you
Right.
might consider it.
Like
all
if you
things
need a safe
equal,
bet
be
to
best
know
for,
that
but
they're going to play,
Yeah.
then yeah. Giants, space the Giants, they're 19th in points to tight ends, so it's kind of a tough matchup. They don't give up a lot of points to tight ends. So yeah, I don't know.
And our
If you
friend,
can find somebody else, I would go for it.
our friend Jeff wants people to start Cam Scatabo. I don't think you're going out on too much of a limb at this point. Everybody seems to be in love with this guy.
Got that it factor, bro. Got that it factor.
And we'll see. We'll see what happens when
and
he's
they
on Bunko
definitely are
points.
giving him the ball. So
Yeah.
and they got that
Yeah.
little RPO with Dart now. So it's like, do we go hit? If we don't key in on Scatabo, then Dart can run it if he holds it, and so it's an interesting little duo they got going there, rookies. So we'll see.
is.
Keep it going.
Yeah, this is he should have a decent game against the Saints too, because the Saints can't stop anybody. And then a guy I'm being forced to play, Tony Pollard, is Jeff's sit of the week. So I certainly hope you're wrong about that one, buddy, because I've got to play him in 2 or 3 leagues. Tennessee, I don't know. I think they might get their first win this week. I know I'll save that for legendary picks, but something's off about Arizona now. I thought they were going to be really good. Now I'm not so sure.
Not feeling good about it now.
Yeah,
I know Cam Ward trashed the team last week after the loss, saying that they were playing
Damn.
really
Yeah.
bad.
I saw
So
it
who
too.
knows? Maybe they bounce back.
Yeah,
If you're starting, I'll give you the good news about Pollard. I mean, Arizona is 8th in points to running backs. So if you're forced Bob to have to use him, it might be okay.
as long as you don't run into Dan Moore's side, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
We'll see.
there are worse teams to start Pollard against this week.
yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so my start of the week is going to make John happy, and our Patriots fans are out there. Drake May. Look, Buffalo gave up a ton of points to Lamar Jackson opening night. This is the second time they're going to face a mobile quarterback, and Spencer Rattler didn't have a terrible game against them last week. So I think Buffalo is going to win. I think it'll be a blowout, but that could be good for the Patriots and Drake May from a point standpoint. He's been doing pretty well, and I think he's moving into that fantasy realm of he's a good guarantee of 20 to 25 points a week, which, you probably drafted him as your second quarterback. And depending on how things have shaken out, he might be your first quarterback at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, damn. I mean, he's putting
Number
up at
4
least.
overall.
Yeah, this is really good. And Buffalo's 12th in points to quarterbacks. So like they're in the top 15 in points to quarterbacks. So you would think he's still going to hit that 20 mark. I would think at least.
Yep. And I'm telling you, I don't like this guy anyway. I don't have it against him personally. I just don't think he's a very good receiver. I say sit Cortland Sutton.
You've been
Cooper
trashing him all year, and he had one bad game.
Well, yeah, but this week he goes up against the juggernaut that is the Eagles defense. So, I think Cooper DeJean picks off Knicks a couple of times. I do not like Cortland Sutton against the Philadelphia Eagles. Not that I ever like him, but yeah, I say sit him down.
Ugh, man, at Philly with Bo Nix, not great.
Yeah.
Hey, it could. Bo Nix may not be great, but it may be one of those scenarios where, they're down and they're throwing, and who are they going to, he does kind of like the Franklin guy, though. I have Sutton in a lot of leagues. So, Sutton had a good first half last week, kind of disappeared in the second half, which was a little disappointing. But, Nix has his buddy Tony Franklin there. I think his name's Tony. It might not be Tony.
Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin. They both Oregon guys. So, he seems to look for him a lot.
Yeah, Philly's 19th in points to wide receivers, just FYI.
Speaking of Oregon guys, nobody brought this guy's name up, but, fresh out of his tour of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, the Oompa Loompa, Dylan Gabriel, is starting for Cleveland. Has anybody got the balls to play him?
No.
I wouldn't
Cleveland
play
does.
him. I'm hoping that I have to play Judy, so I'm hoping that, it's better results than Flacco.
Yeah.
I still think, it's such a weird situation in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders there too. I think that Gabriel's got maybe 2 games to show something. And if the results are similar to Flacco, then you're going to see some Shedeur Sanders because, they aren't going to play Shedeur first just because they drafted Gabriel ahead of him. And that wouldn't be a very good look. So Gabriel will get his shot, but if he doesn't show anything, we could be looking at the Shedeur show by the end of the year.
If you can avoid it, do not start this kid. Give it a week.
I don't. You're really down if you're starting this guy.
I mean, the projections even show there's no faith in him. 16 points. Like me,
Cleveland is barely wanting to start him. So
yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
I guess he's already got his mime skills down. So
yeah,
and Shedeur just needed to practice and more practice in the locker room.
Vikings are 30th in points to quarterbacks. But I'll tell you this though, from a Steelers standpoint, I hope he does do just good enough where they're like, hey, we got our guy, and they don't draft nobody next year.
Absolutely. And to our friends who love Shedeur, like Dave from our podcast, November 9th, booked it. He will start against the Jets. I have a feeling Gabriel will either get killed or he will not do as well, and they'll give Shedeur maybe 3 or 4 games to see what happens. Dylan Gabriel, when he played for UCF, that kid is tiny. We're talking Bryce Young tiny. So I don't know that he can hold up, although Cleveland's line's a little better than the Carolina.
Is he tall enough to get on the roller coaster?
He is not tall enough to get on the roller coaster, which means we should trade for him and put him out there with our wide receivers.
There you go. Can he block, though?
Yeah, that's what I say. That's the main thing.
Yeah, probably not. All right, so let's move over to rapid fire. Before we do, if you guys are watching these over-unders that John has come up with, the podcast as a whole is 135-1. We've been doing this 2 weeks. So if you're gambling or you're a gambling sponsor who would like to sponsor our podcast, we're doing pretty good at this. So let's see how we do this week. John's got some interesting ones, I'm sure.
All right. Coming off my 9-0 week last week.
9-1. 9-1.
Well, I don't count the Jalen Warren one. He didn't play. That was the only one I got wrong.
Oh.
I'm not counting that one. So I don't have all the results from last week because I only track who's on the show. So Quinn, I don't know if you have the results if you want to share some.
I do. Greg is killing it. He's 17-3. David and Jeff. And by the way, Jeff did go undefeated last week, 10-0. Jeff and David are 16-4. Hitting at an 800 clip. Trent has only picked 13 times, but he's 10-3, 769, which if you know legendary picks that's quite an accomplishment for Trent. Relic picked for the first week last week. He went 8-2. That was pretty good. John's 12-8, 600. I'm down there with him. I gave myself a tie for Micah Parsons not getting a sack because he didn't get a sack in regulation, and I went to bed and fuck that. It doesn't count. So 12-7-1 for me.
That was a nice. I think they just wanted the publicity of giving him a sack against his old team, because if you watched it, he just got almost to the line of scrimmage, and it wasn't like a sack. It was more like a scramble, and he tackled him right before the line of scrimmage and like give him a sack on that. You know.
Okay, fuck it. I'm giving you all losses, and I'm taking a win.
All right.
All
All right. So let's kick it off, and we'll kick it off with tonight's game. 49ers at the Rams. More yards, Puka Nacua receiving or total yards for McCaffrey? Quinn, we'll start with you on that one.
Oh, this is a tough one. Because Puka low-key gets some rushing yards. But being
he's only we're only talking receiving for Puka, so
right, which is why I'm gonna go McCaffrey. I think if you were going straight overall, I would maybe go Puka here, but I think McCaffrey, and let's face it, he might be the only guy healthy on offense tonight. So let's hope he doesn't get hurt because I got him in a couple of leagues.
Yeah, and Rams D is pretty tough. So, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to go McCaffrey. He has to be their offense. So, like, yeah, I expect him to get fed the ball, throwing the ball, and they're going to try to shut down Puka Nacua to win. So that's the way I look at it. So I'm going McCaffrey.
Dave, Greg?
Yeah, I'll go McCaffrey too. He's there. With everybody else seemingly out for the 49ers, the ball being in his hands enough.
I just think they're going to put spies all over him, more than one, and it's going to be tough sledding for him tonight. So, although, I anticipate them being down and he's going to get a lot of catches, but I just think I'm going to go with Puka. He's just been lighting it up, and that's who.
He's been ridiculous. You're right.
Yeah, that's Stafford's looking for him. And even with him being ridiculous, Devontae Adams hasn't been terrible, so there's plenty to go around there.
Yeah. John and Trent, by the way, the only two who picked Puka.
Smart man. Okay. Let's go to the early morning London game, Minnesota and Cleveland, and the aforementioned Dylan Gabriel. Does he throw for 225 or more yards? We'll start with Greg.
No.
Dave?
No, not a chance.
I don't think Dylan Gabriel is 224 millimeters tall. So, no.
I, too, am going to say no. And, I was probably made that one a little easier by going 225. I actually at first had 200. I probably should have stuck with that. It would have been a little more like, does he?
A little more. Even though we're not supposed to think in these, that's to make us do a little bit of thinking.
Yeah.
Well, he is more than 200 millimeters tall, but I still would have gone no.
Well,
okay, next one. Giants at Saints. More rushing yards. Scatabo or Alvin Kamara? Let's start with Quinn.
This is an interesting one. If it was total yards, I would definitely go Kamara. With Malik Neighbors out, I think it's 8 men in the box. I'm going Kamara.
Dave?
That D line for the Giants, I think, is really good this year. Their defense has been decently good, if I remember correctly. I think I'm going to go Scatterbo here. Strictly rushing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Scatterbo.
Scatterbo.
Greg?
From what it looks like with the Saints, that the other running back, what's his name? Keandre Miller is starting to gradually take more snaps away from Kamara, at least in the running game. So,
yikes.
Yeah, I too will go with
at least last week he did. So.
All right, next game. Dallas at the Jets. Does Brandon Aubrey kick a 50-plus yard field goal in this game? Let's go, Greg.
Yes.
Dave?
Dallas at Jets. Yes.
Quinn?
I think Dallas is going to move at will. I don't know that he will, but close to half, maybe. I'm going to go yes.
I'm going to go yes as well.
And he's got the leg. The only thing I'm worried about is him not getting the attempt.
All right, next. Denver at Eagles. More receptions. Quinn's buddy Cortland Sutton or A.J. Brown? Let's start with Dave this time.
I'm going AJ Brown. Why? Because I just traded for him in one of my fantasy leagues, and this is going to be the game that he does his thing.
I do think the squeaky wheel gets the grease sometimes, and he's been a little squeaky lately, which means that they're probably going to look to him. However, I'm going with Sutton because I like Sutton. Greg?
Sutton.
Ooh,
Win?
2 Suttons. AJ Brown all the way. I'm exactly thinking that he has, been cryptic. Last
Yep.
year when he got that way, they started feeding him the ball. And I also think that you can't Denver. I'm telling you, I love Patrick Surtain. I think he's a good player. But Philly's got 2 guys. You can't put Surtain on both of them. And I think because they haven't been paying attention to AJ Brown, he has a big game.
And they got a guy named Saquon Barkley that they're going to be worried about stopping.
Yeah, they might want to cover that guy.
Well, I don't think Surtain's going to have too much to say about that, but he'll just go hide on A.J. Brown. Could be a nice game for Devontae Smith this week based off of that.
I think one of them is definitely going to have a big game. Yeah.
All right, next. Miami at Carolina. Does A-Chain get 2+ touchdowns? Start with you, Quinn.
I have A-Chain in a league, and I really hope he does. But Carolina scares me a little bit because of what they did to Atlanta, and Miami is prone to put up just a stinker. So I'm going to say no, but I do think he scores. Just
Now, remember,
twice.
this could be receiving as well. So,
Right. I do think he gets a touchdown. I don't think he gets 2.
all right, Greg,
No, I think he only gets 1 touchdown.
Dave.
He will not get 2 because of Ollie Gordon. When they get near the goal line lately, I've noticed that Ollie Gordon gets a look. So I am worried that he's going to cut into those goal line touches. So I'm going to
don't forget your star of the week, Darren Waller.
Oh, true. Very true.
I am going to go yes for the A-Chain because I think that Carolina sucks, and I think that A-Chain is really good. So
That's the kind of brilliant analysis we bring to you on a weekly basis.
And just because we said that, watch them beat the living shit out of Miami.
Yeah.
All right, next pick. Detroit at Cincinnati. Does both Gibbs and Montgomery record a touchdown in this game?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. Sorry if I went out of turn. I got excited.
Yeah, I'm going to strongly agree yes as well. They might score 60.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm going to say yes as well. And Greg?
No lone wolf here. Yes, they both score a touchdown.
Okay.
Relic, however, did say they won't.
Oh, so we do have a lone wolf.
Yeah, but maybe more, but as of right now, no.
Well, yeah, as of right now.
Yes.
So go on to Hard Rock Bets and bet anytime touchdowns for both of those guys. Throw $100 on it. You'll probably get a $250 return on it, and come and thank us on Monday.
No doubt.
All right.
And just remember, no refunds.
Yeah. Commanders at Chargers. More rushing yards. Amari and Hampton or all of Washington's running backs combined?
Okay, quick question. Is Jaden Daniels
No,
counted in
running
this?
backs. Washington's running backs.
I'm going to take my man O'Marion Hampton only because I think that Daniels is going to lead the Commanders in rushing.
Greg?
Oh, damn, I have to do some thinking here. I'll say the Commanders.
Okay. Dave?
I'm going to go Marion Hampton.
And I am going to go Hampton as well.
I mean, in my head, Krosky Merritt is the biggest threat to that. But Nichols is mostly on passing downs, so he's not going to have a lot of rushing yards.
You have Rodriguez there too. They just keep throwing them out. They all get, 20, 25, 30. They could challenge.
They
Hampton.
could, technically.
And Hampton, he's coming off a good game, so maybe he's got that confidence, and they got confidence in him. And
no McLaurin. I think that Marion Hampton has more of a supporting cast for them to worry about the pass more. So I think he'll eat up a lot of yards.
Only thing that gives me pause is because Joe Alt is not going to play, and they've already lost Slater.
True.
But their guards and center are still good, and Hampton is a physical in between the tackles runner. So I still feel like he's going to have a good game.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a good game.
All right. In our Sunday night game, Patriots at Buffalo. More fantasy points, Drake May or Josh Allen? Let's start with Dave.
The safe bet would be Josh Allen. I'm going to go Josh Allen.
Okay. Greg?
Josh Allen.
Quinn?
I'm going to go Drake May because I think this has a chance to get out of hand, and May will be from behind, and he'll make some things happen.
Like I mentioned earlier, they are 12th in fantasy points to quarterbacks, so I get it, Bob.
I'm going May as well. I think
Really?
game script could Patriots will give up maybe some runs to Cook. They'll key in on Cook. We'll see. I mean, trust me, I have Josh Allen in a couple leagues, so
And Allen can get some running yards too.
I'd accuse you of being a homer, but Bob picked them too, so it's just like, all right.
That's Bob's start of the week.
Maybe there is some logic to what you're doing here.
And Allen can get some rushing yards too. So
right, so that's
So
why
can
I'm
May.
going with him. Well, May can too. Yeah, I was gonna say May's mobile too.
I think you're looking at the number 2 and number 4 rated quarterbacks so far in fantasy. So
Yeah.
although you wouldn't realize May's number 4.
Yeah.
All right, and our final question: the Monday night game, Chiefs here in Jacksonville at the Jags. More receiving yards, Kelsey or Brenton Strange? Battle of the tight ends. Who gets more receiving yards in this game? Let's start with Greg.
Kelsey.
Dave?
I'm gonna go Strange.
Quinn?
I know Lawrence likes to throw to him, but I just feel like it's Monday night. They're going to have Taylor Swift on the screen a bunch of times.
Yeah, I wonder if Taylor's
That's
coming
what I
to
was
Jacksonville.
thinking.
Definitely have to factor Taylor Swift into this. Absolutely.
The River City, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce.
Look, guys, this is the only spot to go to where we evaluate everything when it comes to decisions.
Exactly. I'm going to go Kelce here.
I'm going Strange. I think Trevor Lawrence does like him. Kelsey's struggled a little bit. Now they got
Worthy back.
Worthy back.
Yeah.
Checo saw the end zone last week. Thornton's kind of a go-to guy, becoming that now. So
I think we are seeing like the end for Kelsey. I think we're getting to that point.
He wants to be Gronk so bad, but he's just never going to be Gronk. So
in his prime, he was pretty fucking good, but now
he can sail off into the sunset with Taylor and her billions.
Yep, literally.
And his
literally.
Yeah,
all right, that wraps up this week's rapid fire. We'll see how everybody does on Monday and see if we can catch Greg in this. I think Greg's leading everybody for it right now. So
17-3.
The key is not thinking, right?
Yeah.
We might have a chance. You thought on a couple of these this week.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I might lose the Commanders rushing thing because I had to think a little bit.
They're supposed to be kind of toss up, so
yeah, absolutely.
No, those are good ones, man. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
For those of you who are fans of legendary picks, we will be on tomorrow night. We'll have we're going to talk about the Steelers quarter point, how what we've done, the record, maybe predict the rest of the schedule, do legendary picks. Just if you are a fan of that, we all went Rams tonight plus 8.5. Luckily I got down on that line when it was still 6.5, but once everybody and their son is out in San Francisco, maybe not so good. And then on Monday for Steelers Sanctuary, we're going to have our quarterback episode where we're going to talk about the college quarterback crop. I guess 2028 is what we're going to be looking at. Yeah.
And I did throw out.
You'll talk about how the Steelers are going to draft a tackle next year in the first round.
Yeah.
I did throw out to some other folks about maybe we have like guest pickers come on each week for rapid fire and they do some picks with us. I threw it out to some of my other leagues. I sent them the link to the podcast so they could watch, and I think Darren had some commentary, Quinn, on the Unfocused title of the podcast, seeming to think that it fits very well because we are unprepared. And this guy's
that's a bold statement considering
unprepared.
135-1 in our over-unders there, Mr. Cook. If you're watching, we dare you to do better.
I don't know if it's 135-1, but I think it was.
No, we are. I've got the stats. We're a 135-1. We've made 136 picks.
I think you thought he grouped it together.
Yeah.
In other words, you've made money. If you've gone off of our predictions, you've made money.
Made quite a lot.
But anyway, so I told some people, who in my circles are respected fantasy players to come on, make some picks, do a starter segment with us. So, we might start to get some special guests appearing on this as we evolve into a historic podcast of fantasy knowledge and leadership.
Now, if we can get Colin and Darren on the same podcast, bet the over/under on dumb fucks, or bet the over on dumb fucks.
You
usually want to go bet the over on dumb fucks with Colin anyway, but oh my gosh, we can just sit back and watch those two go at it because
let the bodies hit the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if we got copyrighted, I think I would absolutely use
it's
that
worth
for
it.
the intro.
So
yes. But otherwise, any thoughts on the game tonight other than we all think, Dave, Trent, and David and myself all think Rams cover pretty easily here?
Yeah, it's 49ers. Again, this is a couple of years in a row that they're really feeling that. I mean, it might be time to look at a strength and conditioning coach upgrade because, Bosa, he's out for the year. Now you got Purdy out again. He's already missed a few games. You got Jawan Jennings, Ayuk obviously is out still. It's just a total shit show in San Francisco right now. So.
They've got 45 coaches. May go with quality instead of quantity.
Yeah. So
they could certainly have the Steelers fucking strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
We'll fly that guy out there. Hey, speaking of that, Mac Jones. If he has a good game tonight, Brock Purdy has thrown 8 interceptions in his last 5 games.
Jesus Christ.
Do they wait till he's 128% healthy to put him back in the lineup?
Depends on how many W's Mac Jones gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens. I don't know who the fuck he's going to throw the ball to besides McCaffrey. I was looking at the over-under. I think DeMarcus Robinson.
I was about to say. DeMarcus Robinson's like it.
Well, I think Kendrick Bourne, and I
That's
saw
is it? Do they have Kendrick Bourne now? I know he was a Patriot, so I didn't realize he went to them.
He was on their practice squad, I think, and then they had no choice. They had to bring him up, if I remember correctly.
They do have that other tight end that was kind of coming on, the rookie tight end that has been catching a few balls too. But I don't.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know his name, but yeah, the guy who's been filling it for Kittle, he's done pretty well.
But Rams are a tough D, and so when you have second and third stringers across the board, it's going to be tough sledding, I think, offensively for the 49ers.
Yeah, Shanahan can only do so much, dude. There's no, right. So whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, everybody enjoy the game tonight. I don't think it's going to be much of a game after the first quarter, but you never know. It's the NFL, so something interesting could happen. We'll see you guys tomorrow night on the Sanctuary podcast. Have a great night.
See you guys.
See you.
See you.
It doesn't matter how you play the game. It's whether you win or lose. And even that doesn't make all that much difference.
Would you please just try to pay attention?
Well, if you'd say something worth
guys,
hearing.
what are you doing? What does it look like?
Yeah, we're surfing the World Wide Web.
Fine. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Hey, don't mention it. Like I said before, mi casa, su casa.